3,
Yes.
while Man City goes 3 with 115 suspected charges.
You can see the Everton fans clearly are dissatisfied in the stands. Alright, yeah,
Are we going?
we go.
All right.
What's the deal? It's your boy Alice Show.
And LA Cash. Welcome back to Cash and Show Do Football, where we take a look at what's been going on in football over the past. It's been a few weeks now. International break. What's going on, man? I don't know, I was trying to
big chillin'. Liverpool obviously 1-1, so I mean I'm kind of
good result.
It was a good result against City, but kind of felt like at the beginning, you know what I mean, we're kind of flat. So in that terms of aspects, I'm alright, but in life, I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm great, man.
Yeah.
United 3,
Oh,
Everton 0. Garnacho with the best goal from United I've seen
Ever.
in years. I'd say years.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
Probably.
In this current time period of where United are at.
What's a better United goal in the last few years?
In the last couple, I can't think of a better one.
That one that Ronaldo scored outside the box.
Yeah.
Where Fred passed. That was a fire goal outside the box. Yeah. But I can't
Ronaldo
really think
scored a
anything
couple
else.
great ones. Just a couple. We scored a couple of great goals this season. There was that one Bruno scored against Burnley.
Yeah, where
from Johnny Evans just pinged it across, and then Delos scored one against. It was someone who, it was someone who you got bailed out against. It was a poor result.
Yeah,
that was it was another 1-0, I think. But so it was a great result today. We played a lot better football too. Coming out of the gate, especially in the first, a lot of times in the first 10 minutes, we'll just start.
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
But today especially, we had a couple of guys, Luke Shaw and Cubby, coming back, and in the first 10 minutes, it was just like the pressure, like our press was just at it. It's funny because Eric Ten Hag is the first. Eric Ten Hag's just in the stands. It probably doesn't have anything to do with it because he can still,
looking like Coach Beard in the stands.
Yeah, my guy with his flat cap, looking like a Peaky Blinder. But
England's gotten to him, hasn't it?
What's up?
I said England's gotten to him. Definitely.
I think so.
Yeah, England's gotten to him.
His English has gotten better since he's been here too.
Yeah.
But so I think we played better. We were still pushed back a lot in the defense. Everton's real physical, and we're gonna struggle with that all the time. But we're real clinical.
Onana had a lot of good saves in the game. I think that
saves.
has to be at least mentioned because there was a few times when, like the 31st minute, like we were talking about, where there was a lot of attacking play on the Everton side, obviously, but Onana showed up a few times. There was that one volley outside the box. I'm not sure who shot that, but that was a really good save.
I want to say Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah.
I think that was that got me clenched. Got me real clenched. It's a great result for us. Obviously, kept a clean sheet. Everton, it's a game that we would want to be winning all the time, and but they were at it today. Obviously, we'll talk about the points deduction from FFP charges in a bit, but they were at it. Obviously, they're firing, ready to put in the result, put in a good performance, and we came out on top. So I'm real happy with that. And hopefully, I do want to talk a little bit more about Kobbie Mainoo. He's a player that I saw in preseason that I got real excited about. Because I'm like, if we could have him challenging for the first team alongside Amrabat, Casemiro, Tomine, but he's just really solid. He's really good with his passing. He's only 18. He's pretty physical too. And I think he's a youth prospect, one who we haven't seen, an English prospect in a little while. We've obviously saw Garnacho, but he's one that really, really excites me. And Luke Shaw came back too. He was great. He's someone we've needed for a long time now.
A long time.
Obviously having no left backs except for Reguilon for
yeah.
and he's been crap too. So
it's good that Ten Hag's at least integrating that. What's that one kid's name?
Kobbie Mainoo?
Yeah, integrating him into the first team a little bit. Usually whenever Bajcetic, you kind of see managers or even Lewis from
City,
Lewis,
City,
you know what I mean? Kind of integrate slowly, and then you eventually see them kind of get their real minutes. Because, bro, man, playing in the Premier League looks very difficult, especially for the young kids. You ever seen someone play
physicality in the pace? It's crazy.
I kind of understand why managers only put them on at 4 minutes left in the game. You know what I mean? You kind of just get that taste, that roll. Hey, but your kid played damn near the whole game. He started. Yeah.
First game back after injury.
Yeah.
He's been out for months.
Yeah.
And yeah, he looked great in preseason. He was someone I was thinking like, yeah, he could start challenging for the first team. And yeah, he came in. He looked great. He looked really like he looks like he didn't skip a beat after being injured.
That speaks numbers right there.
Yeah, so he's someone I'm really, really excited for. So we can talk about Liverpool and City yesterday.
Oh my god,
really tight game.
Very tight game. It kind of okay. The Holland situation first, right? I don't understand how you go from being injured on international, then immediately just back to scoring goals. Okay, I guess juiced.
It just kind of brings into question how much he values Norway, just his position. Because it's like if you're carrying a knock, but you're that crucial of a player for your international team, you would think you would still want to at least be in the squad,
even if you guys aren't qualifying for anything. You know
exactly.
What I mean? Yeah, I mean.
Comes back and he comes back. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you good.
It seems like it come back and scores without. He looked fine. It didn't look like he was missing anything.
Looked fine.
So that's just another odd thing. It's just like, where's he at on that?
I didn't really think the Liverpool attackers looked too sharp yesterday. You know what I mean? Not too sharp. I wanted to see Dest start. Right. I think Dest should start. I think Gravenberch or Gravenberch should start. Yeah. Right. Over McAllister and Jones almost.
Okay.
Right?
I think Gravenberch should start over Jones, definitely.
Jones, definitely. Even McAllister. McAllister isn't... Like, we all know what, from the World Cup, whatever, right? But he's not that player yet. I think he still needs a little bit of time, right? Obviously, Slides hit the ground running, right? Yep. Even Gravenberch has hit the ground running, technically, right? But I think he needs to start. Like I said, the forwards weren't awfully terrible.
They were a little bit sloppy,
Yeah. Trent had a very good finish, you know what I mean, which saved us throughout the game.
It was
you know
a good
what I mean?
finish.
Reminded me of Bellingham. Like I was like, bro, we should move Trent in the midfield, right? We already have our problem. We don't need to go out and find one. I think we already have. We need to find a right back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you for so long. It's like Trent's so much better going forward. Why don't you try and implement him into the midfield when you could have done that in the summer where you desperately needed that, and just Klopp go to the board being like, listen, spend at least $30 million on a decent right back
that we can groom and make something.
There's a couple good right backs that you could have went out for.
I would even take Dest.
He's not great defensively. He's not great defensively. We'll talk about him later. I got some things to say about him.
Some words.
But
overall, Liverpool, pretty good. I think they had who else? Who else played today? Did Spurs play?
Spurs played today. I didn't watch that game. I'm gonna watch the highlights later. Yeah. But they lost 2-1 to Aston. Good evening. They lost 2-1 to Aston Villa. Unai's Emery Villa.
So what's your opinion now that... Because a lot of people already suspected that injuries would obviously affect Tottenham, and I think it's pretty clear that they have, right? So at this point, where do you think they're going to land? I don't know when Madison's going to be back and whoever they else have... Who else got injured today?
I don't know if... Richarlison was out. Madison's out. They have a couple of people... Both of their center backs, starting Romero and Van de Ven, were both out. They were playing two fullbacks at center back, and who are they playing at right back? They had Udogie, which, I mean, he's a great player, but it's not like he can hold down the whole defense at left back when you have, Davies and Emerson Royale as your center backs.
I agree. Emerson Royale is not a center back. You know what I mean? No. Nor is he a good outside one. Yeah,
but it's kind of like what I also thought of United last season. We were getting results. But it's like once we have Casemiro and Varane out, at least last season, we're in trouble. You know? We were in trouble.
Once Van Dijk's gone, like I definitely have been in your boat before where, oh my gosh, you just...
So that's what I suspected. After I knew at some point either Madison or Son, or one of those crucial front three or four whatever players for them, would somehow be out. And lo and behold, Madison's out for, I think, until after Christmas, right?
Yeah, that's what they said.
So
that's what they said.
I knew that would happen, and that's going to stunt them because they're going to have, like, Kulusevski, I think, played in that number 10 role today, and it's just not going to be the same. It's not going to be... I mean,
he's like your Bruno. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Bruno made the game a lot easier for you guys today. Without him, I don't know if you guys would have won. You know what I mean?
He's the guy who links everything together up front, because a lot of the players like Rashford, Anthony when he's playing.
The best
Garnacho.
teams.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're great on their own on the left and the right, but they need someone to link it all together.
Yeah.
And that's also why we brought in Mount. I suspect is that we would want someone. I mean, great.
Mount.
He's not been. Listen, in the thinking. The thinking was that we need a Bruno replacement. We can't just like throw Ericsson's. He's getting on a bit, so he's not gonna.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Ericsson in the 10 a couple years ago was class.
Yeah.
For Spurs, he was class, but now he's like 31. He can't really play a full 90 in the Premier League anymore. So we needed someone else, and Mount's that guy. But yeah, so I think Spurs will struggle a little bit. I think they'll finish. Personally, I don't think they get in the top 4.
Right.
If this continues.
If this continues, yes, no, because then they don't. I'll take Ange. I'll gladly take Ange. I mean,
over Klopp right now.
No.
Yeah.
No, but like it just is like as a good manager, you know what I mean. Maybe replace the manager for the future, but I'm not even.
Yeah,
thinking about that.
I love.
I like Ange. You know what I mean. I
rate
him.
Every other Premier League club's fans hate Spurs but love Ange. It's hilarious.
I don't like Spurs.
I don't like Spurs. I've never really liked Spurs.
I don't like Spurs.
But I love Postecoglou. He has so much personality. He's like exactly what they needed because he has like the mentality and like the charisma, the charm
that they need.
I don't know, to bring. Yeah, it's so funny that you just have like an Aussie come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
just hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
It's supposed to play all football in here, mate. Okay, but
But
yeah, I want to move on to Chelsea and Newcastle. Chelsea folded.
I mean, did we really expect them to actually bounce back after that Arsenal?
I would expect. I was when it was 1-1. I thought it was going to end like that.
Yeah,
personally. But then Thiago Silva, like I said before, man, he's not the Thiago Silva a few years ago.
Well, he's an old man.
That's what I'm saying.
He's an old man.
He can't start in the Premier League. You're a 39-year-old center back.
Yeah.
This stuff is going to happen. Yeah. So I don't get why Chelsea fans are always think they're there.
He's the best one in the Premier League, right? He's not the best.
You have the two extremes. You have the oldest of the old, and you have these extremely young players that you expect to come in the squad and show up against a great Newcastle side who has, granted, they have some injuries, but they're gonna push you. They have the players that are gonna come in are gonna have that mentality and the physicality to bring it to you.
Right.
And that's what happened. They got pressed out and they folded.
Yeah. Hey, at least they don't have Aspilicueta anymore. So
Chelsea would probably take him right now.
Nah,
not over Reece James, but just his experience in that squad. You need some.
I don't know.
You need players like that.
I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I'm not delusional. So I can't actually give you the answer, right? But I don't know if they would do that.
But that's what they needed. They need some 25, 26-year-old players with a few years of Premier League experience in their belt. Because when you have Sterling has experience, granted. But when you have Gallagher, he's played a couple years in the Premier League, but he hasn't been playing at a top 4 team for the past few years at Crystal Palace and whatever. Just their front line. Nicholas Jackson.
Right.
He's so green as a striker in the Premier League. So they're not going to have that, type of. I don't rate Chelsea personally. I don't think they get in the top 4. I don't think they get in the top 6. Okay. I think they stay where they are, quite frankly, because they're not going to have. They're just
I don't know.
They don't have the gall to get results.
Me personally, I think they're better than United. Okay. Right? Don't
player for player, you might have a case.
Even their style of play, they have more identity than you guys.
Yeah, but United. The difference between United and Chelsea is that United have the experienced players to get those results in.
But you guys don't do anything.
They don't have a Bruno.
You guys don't do it. Though.
They don't have even a Martial.
They have Raheem Sterling. They have Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, but
there's
only
Jackson.
so much your one winger can do.
Yeah, true. They have Enzo. Enzo's class. I would take Enzo over McAllister.
He's not the type of player that's going to put a midfield on his back.
Would you take McAllister or Enzo? I would take Enzo. Over this summer, I wanted Enzo a lot more than I wanted McAllister.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like, to be honest.
If you gave me those two players for United just because we already have a number 10, I would take Enzo Fernandez.
I would take Enzo Fernandez.
But he doesn't really have a partner next to him to help him with that.
True. You are very true.
I'm going to go on a bit of a rant. USA versus Trinidad and Tobago. So we had I didn't even know it was I forgot it was a
A friendly?
Well, it's not a front. It was it's the quarterfinal for the CONCACAF Nations League. Trinidad, obviously, we all get flashbacks back to the infamous time where we did not qualify because we could not get, I can't even talk.
Yeah,
The
literally
team,
can't even think about it.
USA team, Christian Pulisic was crying. That team sucked. Apart from Tim Howard, that team blew.
That team sucked, bro.
That team sucked.
That team sucked.
I like Tim Howard. That team sucked.
That's when people used to cook on.
Anyway.
Anyway.
We come into this game, basically our full squad. Come into it, basically our full squad. The lights just turned off. But, and we needed, it's Trinidad and Tobago. We should be beating them every day of the week. First game, played our, I think it was a little bit of rotated squad, but we get three goals. I think it was Balogun, Pepe, and Robinson. It might have been, I don't know if it was Balogun. Anyway, beat them 3-0. So we're kind of cruising going into the second leg. We get the first goal from another one from Anthony Robinson. He's great. I love Anthony Robinson.
I love him.
Someone I would take at United too. But then Serginho Dest, I think it went out. I think was it a foul? No, I think it went out. It was like slight. It was just right on the line. It went out for a throw-in. And Serginho Dest just lost his head, just out of nowhere, and just punted the ball straight up in the air after the ref kind of told him off or whatever. Ref books him, understandably. You don't do that. You just don't do that as a player.
Yeah, just rash it out. Yeah.
Just completely rash. And then I think Tim Ream and I think it was Robinson who actually went over to him, was telling him to, and then he just started going at the ref after he already been booked and just didn't stop. Everyone was telling him to chill.
Right.
And he just gets sent off. It was a double booking.
Well, you're out of control. The referee has all authority to send you right off. That's on you.
Justifiably.
Yeah, it's on you.
And then we go on to lose the game, 2-1 to Trinidad. It's a disgrace. That's a disgraceful. This U.S. team who went to the round of the 16 in the World Cup. That's a disgraceful result.
Yeah,
it should never be happening in this competition for us.
I agree.
So Serginho Dest came out, apologized. By the way, with that result, we went to, obviously it ended 4-2 on aggregate, so we went to the next round, and we qualified for the Copa America.
And who do we face?
In the next round, we faced Jamaica. So Jamaica's a decent squad. They knocked out Canada.
Yeah.
So
do you think? Obviously, we talked about it earlier, right? But this attitude problem that Dest has, right?
Yeah.
And the decisions that Xavi's made.
Yeah.
This has to have tied into it, right?
It's clear that he does have an attitude issue. Just, I think he probably rates himself too highly. Like, listen, you're a first-team player for the United States. You came through Ajax, great.
Yeah.
Signed up to Barcelona, great. But I think he just doesn't. He just can't put it into words. He just has an attitude issue.
Yeah.
And it's shown through a lot of different clubs. He's been playing well with PSV. They're top of the Eredivisie right now.
Really? I thought PSV had a bad start.
I think they had a kind of an odd start.
Yeah.
They're top of the. I think they're they might be like 6 points or something ahead of Feyenoord.
Okay.
But yeah. So I don't know what's going on. I think he needs to. He came out and apologized in an Instagram post. It was really weird because his grammar and the capitals were all off. So it's
he must have typed it
himself. He must have typed it himself. Also, show it to. You're in the. It was like a half an hour after the game. I saw it on on Instagram because I follow him, or I don't even know if I follow him, but I follow Men in Blazers who posted it. But it's dude, next to all American guys, fluent English, just have Tim Ream fucking proofread it. So be like, yo, man, this is whack.
Yeah,
what are
bro.
you doing?
Not that there, bro. This there. You're using the wrong one.
He just had capitals in the middle of the sentence and stuff. It was just weird.
Yeah.
So it was kind of to me. It seemed half-hearted. I was already pissed at him.
Yeah.
So it seemed half-hearted to me. So yeah, I think
he needs
to
save my ass now.
I think he needs to be a little bit more punished.
He needs to be disciplined for sure.
Disciplined.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to talk about that because that pissed me off. But all things considered, next round of Nations League should be winning that tournament. I think it's Mexico play. I think it's Panama, and we played Jamaica. And Jamaica are a decent team. We got a few decent players. Leon Bailey, Mikel Antonio if he's fit. Who else? What's this say? He played for Everton for the longest time. Now he's in Saudi. Regardless, they're a great side. Maybe not great, but they beat Canada, which is something to. Okay, speaking of Everton, let's talk about this points deduction. So, after one breach of financial fair play, they spent $20 million over their.
That's what they were. Okay, that makes sense.
Spent $20 million over their
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
They're the clubs,
Which for some reason all clubs can have a totally different number on how much they can spend. Fairly, by the way, right?
And it's when this took 8 months to do, and they've been handed a 10-point deduction. Now they're back in the relegation zone with 4 points, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, justifiably, Everton are pissed.
Yeah.
And I mean, you saw it at the United game today. They had banners in the director's box. The fans were just at it. That's also why I was kind of hesitant going into this. Maybe not hesitant about how I would think it would went.
Yeah.
But they're
Throw the book at Man City. That's all they're asking for.
That's all they're asking for.
That's what everyone treat the whole league fairly, right?
Exactly.
If you're gonna do that to Everton over over one breach, then what is Man City gonna go do? Are they gonna go a league?
They get 2 leagues.
They're gonna go 2 leagues below. Are they gonna be erased as a football club? That would be insane. Obviously, you know what I mean. But that would actually be. Imagine the first time ever, right? They're bro, 150 charges. You know what I mean? This whole club has to just be shut down, right? Gone.
Also, what happens to the titles that they won? That was the other conversation.
Yeah, they say they strip their titles, right? Their club is gone, right? And then every player is free market, can go to whatever club they want in the Premier League.
Howland.
Yeah.
Come back.
He stays in Manchester.
Hey, around the block, man. You can pay those wages, no problem.
We should do a video like that, if everyone had to go to a team,
where would they go?
Yeah, and which one would make the most sense, based on what the other team needs. Trust.
I would take the front line. I would take the whole front line.
Honestly, if I had to take anyone from Man City, I'd probably take Bernardo Silva.
Oh, he would be.
I would take Bernardo Silva.
You'd be great.
Yeah, because he can play wing and midfield, right?
You'd be perfect for you.
Yeah, he'd be good. Yeah, you know what I mean? It'd be still a replacement. There you go. Bruno.
But yeah, so just the different situations between Everton and City. So it was one initial breach of spending compared to club revenue for Everton.
Which makes sense.
It's 3 different areas of breaches that they fall under for Manchester City. The first one is the same thing, the initial breaches of spending compared to the club revenue. Justifiably, when the Saudis came in, they're nowhere near spending the revenue of Manchester United or anyone around that time. Yet they were spending like they were. They were being dishonest about the club's financial
records,
standing.
yes,
financial standing,
mm-hmm.
And also apparently they were being, I have this quoted, deceitful when talking about how they were unreliable in conducting the actual compliance and investigation of the investigation.
Mm-hmm. I never used to hate Man City, but now I hate them because now you guys are just unhonest. You know what I mean? It's nothing to even do with the football you guys play now. Now it's okay, you guys are straight up.
It seems like a weird this
dishonest.
reminds me of the Italian stuff that would come out,
right?
Juventus, how it came out there being about the spending and the different types of, I mean, Juventus was different because they were about the different deals they would do.
Yeah.
Swap deals. Remember how Fabrizio about how there's more swap deals coming. Just keep in mind there could be swap. No, that was weird. But,
swap deals.
Yeah, but it's always about how the club. It would always seem shady, It always seemed shady. So, what was my point? It gives me that sort of vibe. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, swap deals kind of make sense, and then they kind of don't in football.
Because the player value could be, you have to give them a value, and have it stated with that.
Only thing that worries me, right, is yes, player value, right, in scamming, right, I don't want one club trading a foofy player for a really, really, really good player, right? That doesn't really make. Maybe they should have like a standard, right?
Yeah.
Like every player should because they kind of already do that, right? They put like like Mbappe, Haaland, and like Messi in like a certain category, right?
Yep.
And they put like Neymar in that category too, right? Financial fair play rules. We can't have this amount of players that are paid over this amount, whatever, right?
Yep.
Like player for player, they could like swap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has to be like within like a certain
bracket,
bracket guidelines. You know what I mean? I think that would be perfectly fine,
Yep.
right? Because they already do that in the NBA. They already do that in the NFL, right? Okay, we're gonna swap this player. You're getting traded to this team. No, you know what I mean? Like this is business, right?
Mm-hmm. And
this is how we made the team better, right? I'm totally. Money doesn't always have to be involved, right? Maybe if it's like okay, we're gonna swap this player for money and money too.
Yeah.
That makes sense too, right? But like
when it was, remember the Pjanic and Arthur deal from Barcelona to Juve? It was like Pjanic and like how many million, and it was just Arthur. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. It's like that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Because
Pjanic was what has happened to that player, by the way?
He come to Besiktas. He went to Besiktas.
Really?
Yeah, we went to. He might be retired now, but he went to Besiktas. That's kind of when you kind of throw it in, being like, "Yo, I want to be at a big club, but." You know.
or like Daily Blind. You know what I mean? Like,
Daily Blind. I like Daily Blind.
I don't dislike him. I don't dislike him.
He had a good Eastern career. Played served at United, went back to Ajax. But regardless, we need to see something. We need something happen in the city. You know, something needs to go down.
Needs to be punished. You know what I mean? How would you feel if they were totally taken out the Premier League?
Like it's relegated? How many times relegated? Like,
no, maybe just like say they were just taken out,
just completely removed, or just like sat a year out. And it also needs to be like
just banned. They're like, you know what? We just don't trust your organization anymore. You can't even play in the Premier League anymore. What if they just totally hit them with that?
I don't think they can remove them as a club because I don't really think that fits as like a. I think they would need a couple because even that was weird. Pep came out was like
yeah.
He was like we haven't been charged with anything yet.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been like denying that there's like something going. He's just like, yeah, we haven't.
Pep knows.
He's like, it's guilty, proven until he's like proven.
Pep knows there's something going.
Innocent until proven guilty. Wow, that was weird. But yeah, so it was.
They're running a bogus football organization over there. I'm sorry, they are. You know what I mean? They're running. That's what
I always said to you. All the titles they've won, everything has an asterisk next to it. Has an asterisk next to it because that fucking treble
is money.
Fugazi treble.
Yeah, you bought the treble at that point.
You bought the treble.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And then you crapped on all of the history that other Premier League clubs have done to get there.
Have you looked at the Man City squads throughout the years? They're different every year.
Yeah.
They're like from top to bottom, right? This striker might not be here, right? This winger is here now. Okay, yeah. You don't have Raheem Sterling this year. Now you have Jack Grealish. You don't have Aguero this year. Now you have Haaland, or you have Alvarez, or you have whoever, or you had Xhaka, or you know what I mean? Like throughout the years, they've had hella strikers. Liverpool's had 2, or a 3. You know what I mean? Or 4. Origi, Sturridge, Nunez, Firmino.
Yeah.
Right. Compared to whatever the fuck. They or whatever the heck they've been doing over there, right?
Yep.
They just been going crazy, right? From their back line, center backs, Company, Ruben Diaz, right? We can go on. Otamendi, you know what I mean? They've had players in every position for years, right? So at some point, right, you kind of have to do question yourself, okay, you know, how much money are these guys spending, right?
Yeah.
Are they actually operating in between the rules that are kind of fluky, right? You can only spend it in between your bracket, which. A state-owned club is always going to make a lot more than your local Everton club or whatever.
Well, the problem with it was before is that they didn't have the financial revenue initially.
Yeah.
So you have Manchester's whatever Sheikh Mansour comes in, buys the club, just starts spending like crazy without having the commercial revenue like Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, those recognizable clubs, and out of a sudden they just start injecting loads of cash. And that's the other thing with Chelsea. That could also happen with them because once you make set a standard for these FFP rules, it has to be applied from top to bottom from every single club, and that includes Manchester United. Chances are something went down that wasn't along with those guidelines, right? There could be a chance, I think they've always.
I feel like it's less likely.
It's less likely because we've
feel like
always
it's
been
way less
cognizant,
likely.
and that's they were saying an excuse during the summer for some spending was we need to
but we
comply
know
with
you
FFP.
guys have money. You know what
But
I mean?
yeah, you know that Man United have the commercial revenue to do that.
I've never felt like Man United are spending too. I mean, no, I've always been like, you guys are spending too much. You guys spend too much on players.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah.
But you guys spend too much on individual players.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You guys don't buy a whole bunch of array of players every single
we'll buy
season.
like
You guys don't
3
do that.
players a season for over 50 mil.
Yeah.
But
and
at
those
the same
players will
time-
stay in the squad for a few years. They might move on. They might not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Become a squad player. Become doo-doo. You know what I mean? Somebody replaces them. Whatever.
Yeah, and also with Chelsea, my point is it needs to be applied from every club to make a standard that this can't happen again. Or if it does, you will be punished in X, Y, and Z way.
Yeah.
In Chelsea, it came out because this is a topic. It also came out that during the Abramovich era, because I think it was reported that Todd Bowley made a red flag about it because he didn't want to be charged with whatever deceit, trying to hide stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there could have been potential people paid off, players, other staff. So we'll see what happens. But I think they just need to set a standard. If you're going to take 10 points from Everton for one FFP breach, what happens with City?
Yeah.
That's just the question. Because 115, is it like a points thing? Is it like a relegation thing? Is it a ban from Europe? Is it a ban from... Because that's what happened with Chelsea before. They got a ban from... a transfer ban for... What year and a whatever?
I do remember that actually. Yeah.
That was during the.
I think they still won a trophy too. That next year.
I think they still.
Yeah.
I think the year after was it? Because I remember it was during the point. What's his face? Frank Lampard was there for a little while, and he did pretty well. I mean, they let a couple guys go.
He did better than Potter.
Yeah.
Potter
had new players.
Potter sucked.
God.
I mean, man, Potter. Potter.
Anyway.
I'm not even a fan, but yeah.
Anyway. So that's just we end with a question. What happens with Manchester City with that?
Hopefully they get relegated.
So we can talk about some transfer rumors that have won. There's another thing that happened. Was it last week or something? The Premier League clubs had a vote and they ruled in favor of clubs that are owned by the same, associated, people.
Owners to trade.
So, for example, there is a rumor that Ruben Neves would have a loan deal to Newcastle United from one of the Saudi league teams. I forgot what's out. I think he's at Al Hilal.
That makes no sense.
It does. It just seems
makes no sense.
Seems fugazi. He seems another one of those
Because technically, wouldn't Newcastle just be able to buy their own players?
It would be going to the same place. You know what I mean? The money would be going to the same. It would just
place.
It'd be.
But then
insider.
it's like, okay, like if this club, like say Newcastle's at their cap, right? They can't buy another player essentially. Okay, Al Hilal will buy the player. Then maybe next season we'll just transfer him over there so that it just makes sense. Oh yeah, no, there's nobody's being bought. You know what I mean? No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
No. Neymar will just go to the Premier League next season because it can happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we want Mbappe. We can afford him. Just send him over to the Premier League.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
His for a year.
You know what I mean? Oh, Newcastle. There you go. You know what I mean?
You could have Mbappe.
Who else is owned by two different Red Bull?
Red Bull.
The Red Bull teams. I'm assuming they're owned by
all
this.
owned,
Yeah.
They're associated all with Red Bull.
So technically,
City
they'd be able to do that.
I mean, it would be a stretch. I mean, New York City FC in the MLS and Man City are owned by the same Etihad association.
Yeah.
Not Etihad,
I mean,
but
technically, they could still wormhole that.
yeah.
Because
could.
Because like you were saying earlier with the whole MLS adding a new spot.
That's another thing.
Right?
Yeah.
If the MLS do add a new spot and say they do go for a Suarez or whatever, right? Anything, right? They could just
say
Kevin
Kevin
De
De Bruyne in a few years is done. He wants to play. I don't know. That would be a stretch. He would go to New York.
Yeah.
But
he could. You know what I mean? He could
if he had the cash to whatever for him.
Which wouldn't be necessary. I mean, isn't what Miami doing fair for the MLS? No. No, it's not. Let's be honest. It's cool. It just looks cool. I'm sorry. Like that's another conversation. But MLS isn't a serious league. It just looks cool right now because you know what I mean. Money, a Messi, and a Modric, all these players.
Busquets.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Busquets and Alves, get them to the Ibra. You know what I mean? Like it looks cool, but it's not a serious league.
No,
it's not.
It's not
I'm
even.
sorry,
It's not. Well, I agree with you with that because it's not. It's cool. It's a spectacle.
Yeah.
But you can't take it as seriously as the other leagues because there's no standard or.
Yeah, you can't have it on the same stage like the Premier League. Well, technically, everything that we were just complaining about is what Inter Miami is doing.
Yeah.
But it's all for fun. That's what nobody actually cares about the MLS.
What I will say, MLS is a good league for a lot of American talent to start it.
Yeah.
And then make, because that's what Tyler Adams did, Weston McKennie. There's a lot of players who did that.
Yeah.
But any U.S. player who's worth a shit isn't staying in the MLS.
At all.
Why would you?
Yeah,
it makes no sense. You're not going to get paid as much. You're not going to have the same competitions and legacy, really, as if you would go to any European club. That's why James Sands, who's another kid, went to Rangers.
Yeah.
You go to the Scottish League.
Yeah, or something at least.
What's going on?
That's a better league. It's literally a better league, bro.
You have a better league, and then what else? There's also no promotion or relegation. There's 2 conferences.
Yeah.
What? Make one league, split that league in half, and have that be the second league.
There you go.
There you go, and have the
and
U.S.
no playoffs. Like the playoffs don't make any sense.
Playoffs suck. Also, the league tape, those 2 conferences suck because you have a regular table in the rules. A win is 3 points.
Yeah.
A draw is 1 point, and obviously you get 0 points for a loss.
Yeah.
But then you have the top 8 teams in that table go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Why?
That's because the MLS isn't serious.
It's not a serious league.
It's just money. You know what I mean? Like it's not a serious league. Right. That's why they don't. That's why they're not trying to innovate and change it to make it become something that it actually should be.
It's for those investors who have those. That's why they call those MLS teams a franchise and not a club.
Yeah.
Because it's not a club. It's a franchise team that you start.
I mean,
I like a lot of those franchises.
They all have to be on the Adidas. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
roster.
they're all Adidas.
You know what I mean?
It's
they're ran like franchises, not ran like clubs.
No.
So yeah. Yeah.
And if you did, once they start talking about promotion, they all get well, we can't have this.
Oh, we can't have
promotion. We lose some money. We can't have actual competition within this league.
Yeah.
We have to all get to the playoffs and have that TV revenue from Apple.
That's why it's called a franchise.
I can't stand the MLS.
No, me neither.
We can talk about Inter Miami, but yeah.
Inter Miami.
So speaking of the MLS, they're going to add to the salary cap of like 1.3 mil to the salary cap and add another designated player spot. So cool. You're going to have a couple, better players in the MLS. That's really all that was.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, it'll improve it slightly. The MLS sucks.
Yeah, MLS sucks.
It sucks.
I don't hate it.
You want to talk about Shakira winning the Spanish Grammy for this track on PK?
I mean,
it's okay.
Yeah, PK.
It's funny. It was funny.
Doesn't he have his little league in the United States now? Or is that Aguero that runs it?
It's
PK that does it, right?
I think he does. I think he has.
So I think PK could really give 2 craps about whatever Shakira. I think in terms of really who's doing anything in 2023.
Yeah.
PK. You know what I mean? PK is he's literally running a whole underground league. Who cares about Shakira and her one song anyways, right?
Yeah.
I don't condone.
It's embarrassing
cheating.
for him.
Yeah, I don't condone in cheating, right? But I'm just saying, Shakira, you're not cool. Winning. You're not doing anything like oh my god.
Probably
you hit back, Shakira. You really did hit back.
She's worried about her own stuff with her taxes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she got to win with that. But
bro, it is snowing now. When we started, it was raining. It is like dead ass snowing.
I was gonna mention that we were in the conversation.
It is genuinely snowing now.
Nice.
Right.
Do you have anything else?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Not
I've got nothing else.
Really.
So anyway, we're gonna get warm because it's
we're gonna probably get warm.
We're freezing out here.
Cash and Show do football, right?
Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you next week. Deuces.
Peace.